man. Couch Guy Sports Podcast, episode 208. 208. Of course, follow us iTunes, Spotify, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff. CouchGuySports.com, all the written content, all the other podcasts on the network. Us personally on Twitter, me and Al, everywhere you can just do it. Twitch, YouTube. Me and Al were just talking before we hit record. Exciting things coming up in the pipeline. We can both attest to that. We were just talking about it. So exciting stuff happening at Couch Guy. So stay tuned as always. And of course, read all the great written content. Bruins are in the playoffs. We're going to talk about that. Patriots just signed Brian Hoyer. We're going to talk about that. It's all in the written content as well. So go dive through all the written content and some exciting new sponsorship endeavors to be announced soon as well for the website. So we'll announce those when appropriate, but just stuff's happening. Hi, Al.
Hi, Jared. It's always, you know what? I got to say this. On Tuesday evenings, when I know I'm going to do a podcast with you, the Couch Guy Sports Podcast, it gives me something to look forward to at the end of the day. And I'm appreciative of that.
I'm glad I could be a cheery face in your day.
You are. Your smiling face and your interesting usage of hats, it gets me through.
You know why I've worn a hat like almost every day since I had my surgery? Because I haven't had a haircut. And it's bad underneath these hats. It's bad. And the thing is, too, my wife is my barber. She shaves my head, which is great, right? It's super easy. Don't have to worry about paying for haircuts. But I also have a wound right now, and so I'm trying to limit the amount of hair that goes. It's a mess normally, so we're just trying to avoid it. So,
but you're sitting. You're sitting. That's a good thing.
Sitting.
That's a good sign.
Not a lot of pain. We're healing good, so it should be completely healed in a couple weeks. Should be good.
Good.
I went golfing this past weekend with no pain.
What'd you shoot?
I played 9, shot a 44. So
pretty good.
Pretty decent. Not too. I had a couple blow up holes. Should have been lower, but
yeah,
I haven't played in a month.
My score would be about double that, so it's all good.
All right, Al. I'm going to give you the choice. We're not starting Celtics. We'll get to them.
Okay.
Do you want to start the Boston Bruins and the 1-1 series tie, or do you want to start the amazing signing of Brian Hoyer to the New England Patriots?
You know what? Let's just get Brian Hoyer out of the way.
All right, we'll go.
What are we doing?
Get Brian Hoyer out of the way. Brian Hoyer.
Really?
I can't even keep my face straight. Bill. Really? Bill, no. I talked myself into this. You want to know why? Because Cam Newton won't be around day one.
Oh, stop it. This is what's that's happening. Not going to happen. No, so you know who's going to get cut. You know exactly who's going to get cut.
So if you haven't heard, Brian Hoyer is back. 1 year deal, 4th stint with the New England Patriots. Now a total of it'll be 8 seasons when this year is complete with the New England Patriots. Rumors are that he shopped around and had other offers to play and potentially jump into a coaching role at some point. There's no secret. Brian Hoyer wants to coach. That's his NFL next step. I'm sure the Patriots offered him up that. Look, Brian Hoyer is here to straight up be a mentor to Mac Jones. Teach him the offense. That's why they brought him in. Why not just bring him in as a coach? Why are you offering him a playing? Now, maybe he gets cut. Maybe he's a coach come fall. But I take one thing away from this. They have 4 quarterbacks right now, Al. They won't have 4. They won't have 4. They won't have 4.
No.
There's an odd man out here.
And you know who it is.
His name is Cameron Newton.
No, that's not
who it
is. No, it's not.
He's getting paid no money. He is the only quarterback out of those 4 that don't fit the mold. They're not the same quarterback. He doesn't fit the typical Patriots Tom Brady offense, which is clearly what they want to run. They saw something this last week in Mac Jones. Mac Jones and all the rookies are there right now doing rookie minicamp. They know the kid's ready. I'm convinced. You don't bring Brian Hoyer in now. You don't wait till now, a week after that he's there doing some workouts, getting excited, getting going. Unless you believe in the kid. You saw something. Mac Jones might actually be your week 1 starter.
No. Listen, this is what I'm going to say. And this is coming from somebody that is on board with you. I do not want Cam Newton to be the starter of this football team. I understand that. But the reality is, Jared, and I hate to say it, but you need to hear this, so open up your ears and get the potato out of your ears. Cam Newton is going to start week 1 for the New England Patriots. That's just how it is. And the odd man out, and everybody knows it, is Jarrett Stidham. It's unfortunate because Jarrett Stidham looked like during the preseason, I think it was 2019, he looked like he could be the next heir to the Patriots quarterback throne.
Well, now it's Mac Jones.
But now it's Mac Jones. Yep, you obviously took Mac Jones in the first round, 2021 NFL draft. So you know that Mac Jones is going to be the next guy. There's no room for Jarrett Stidham on this roster. Now, the only way that Stidham makes it, the only way is, like you said, is if Brian Hoyer just comes in for training camp. He helps Mac Jones learn the offense, understand, every little tidbit of it. And then they're like, okay, thanks for serving your purpose. We'll call you when we need an actual coach to do, whatever.
See, what I think is happening here is I would love to my answer to be right. I want Cam gone. Like, I don't want Cam starting games. You're right. He probably is going to start games. But, like, you got to think, if they really believe Mac Jones is legit, you cut Cam. If they believe that Mac Jones is ready and legit, you cut Cam. Like, that's it. Like, you don't keep Cam around as your backup. Not the way Bill runs, right? Cam Newton's not a backup quarterback. And you don't want him teaching. You don't want him to be the backup to Mac Jones, because then what's that do for Mac, right? There's just not even worth it. I look at the Brian Hoyer signing and go, okay, they want him on this roster the whole season. They want him here, even if it's as the number 3 quarterback. They want him here to teach Mac Jones. They believe he's the next quarterback's coach, whatever he turns into. Maybe it's an offensive coordinator when Josh McDaniels takes over, because at that point, I'm pretty sure the Patriots are the only job he's going to get moving forward once Bill retires. So, like, maybe Brian Hoyer is as a future offensive coordinator, whatever. They want Mac Jones to learn from Brian Hoyer, which I don't blame them. He knows the offense like the back of his hand. Mm-hmm. It's not, just because he couldn't handle and perform in the offense doesn't mean he doesn't know it and how to teach it. I always say, Al, the best coaches aren't the best athletes. Best coaches are the ones who probably didn't do it the best. Right. Because they learned the game as much as they possibly could and didn't learn the bad habits. Really good professional star athletes don't make good coaches, because they will always default to go do it my way. Like Tom Brady couldn't coach. Are you kidding me?
No shot.
Peyton Manning couldn't coach.
No, they would demand perfection. Let me ask you a realistic question. Do you really think that there is any possibility that Cam Newton won't be your starting quarterback for the Patriots in week 1? Do you really believe that, or are you just trying to talk yourself into it?
No, there's a chance, because they clearly believe in Mac Jones. I think it has to go. Everything has to go right all summer. Mac Jones has to get his reps in. Preseason has to be the 3 games they're going to have this year, not 4. Mac Jones has to be lights up. Mac Jones has the chance to earn the job from Cam, but he has to be the way Belichick functions. You can't just be the same as Cam to get the job, or even just a step better than Cam to be the job.
He's got to be significantly better.
Significantly better than Cam to take the job away from Cam.
Right. If it's a 1 through 10 scale, if Cam's at we'll say 5 or 6, Mac Jones has to be at a 9 or 10. Like, he has to be.
Job. Yep.
Right. He has to be significantly better. I do think Cam's going to start the season. Listen, if he can do what he did the first 3 games against Miami, Seattle, and the Raiders before he got COVID and everything, then it might not be so bad. Remember, you have 2 tight ends that you can throw to now in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. You have some wide receivers, Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, that you can throw to. And guess what? I don't think the Patriots are done yet. I think they're going to make one more big move at the receiver position to bolster that receiving core and give whoever the quarterback is another weapon. Your run game's good. Your offensive line is good. So whoever the quarterback is, they just have to be like C+, B-, and you should be okay.
People forget the offensive line is one of the best in the league. And you brought back the massive wall that is Trent Brown. Isaiah Wynn's still here. David Andrews re-signed, super underappreciated. Like, David Andrews is key to this. And then you look at those signings, right? Like, and Stephon Gilmore, the further this goes along, the further I feel like Stephon Gilmore at some point will get a new deal done and play here. Like, Belichick clearly thinks this team is good now. Why not keep Stephon Gilmore, right? If you really believe this team can perform. And I think it was Pro Football Focus. Yeah, it's Pro Football Focus. Tweet out a graph of all the projected starters for the Patriots. It was Cam as the starting quarterback, because it's probably going to happen, right? And they said, how is this not a Super Bowl contender, essentially? Isn't this I agree with them. The fact that Vegas has the over-under set at 9 for the regular season wins, mind you, when the Patriots have 17 games this year, not 16, you hammer that over. I already did, by the way. It's set in stone. Hammered.
Might have to talk to you about that.
It's gonna keep going up as we get closer to the season. People realize what the Patriots have. More reports are gonna come out. Vegas is gonna go, 10.
Here, I'll tell you what. I wrote about this on Couch Guy the other day. I did my season predictions for the Patriots. What do you think I had them going? 17 games.
Oh, I hate the new numbers. 11-6.
Bingo. I had them going exactly 11-6.
I didn't read the article. Full transparency. I did not know what Al said.
That's fine.
I was thinking 11-5. I'm like, nope, that's not the right number anymore. Add a game to it.
Yes, I think 11-6 is in play. I really do.
But I think that's a playoff team this year.
It is
11-6. I think they go. I think they go 12-5. And I think
they could.
They will be in the playoffs, 100%.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this real quick, and then we'll move on to our winter teams that are in the playoffs. I saw a little. It was a tweet the other day, and it had an interesting tidbit. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that the Patriots are talking to the Browns about OBJ, and the Browns want J.C. Jackson. Would you make that deal if J.C. Jackson was the centerpiece of that deal?
If J.C. Jackson's the centerpiece, sure. Why not?
Because you might lose Gilmore. Don't forget, he's only got 1 more year in his deal.
Well, I think if you trade J.C. Jackson, you're paying Gilmore.
You better be.
Like I think if they're okay with trading away J.C. Jackson for OBJ, they know they're gonna pay Stephon Gilmore, and they probably would have talked to him at some point before they make that trade. Like, you don't just trade away J.C. Jackson and assume you're gonna lose Gilmore, right? You can't do that. If all things aside, if Gilmore we know is here, and he is here, and look, I don't think Gilmore necessarily wants to leave. I just think he doesn't want to play for $7 million. Like, I don't think it's I hate New England, I don't want to be the Patriots organization anymore thing. Like, he clearly likes it here. I just think that he doesn't want to play for $7 million. I don't blame the guy. He's much better than that. So, like, I think if you're going to do that, fine. You got to make sure Stephon Gilmore is locked in.
And we'll see if he is. It's either one of the two. If you throw Jackson or you throw Gilmore in as part of that centerpiece of the trade, get a number 1 wide receiver, I'm okay with it. As long as
I'd be cool with trading Gilmore too. Like, if you trade Gilmore for fine, whatever. If he's not going to stay, if you're not going to pay him, he doesn't want to stay for that, then fine, trade him for OBJ. Look, OBJ
give me football season.
OBJ is the most longest rumored Patriot outside of like Larry Fitzgerald, ever. And it's like it needs to happen. Imagine you put OBJ on this roster with Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, still have Jacoby Myers. Like, this roster is pretty good. You put a national champion Mac Jones behind the center, and sky's the limit, guys. I think we have our future quarterback, by the way. I think he's it. I think he's legit. But the Bruins, they're in the playoffs.
They are.
And the Bruins are tied 1-1. Taylor Hall, sorry, Zach, scored a goal and is looking good. He's hugged Brad Marchand over the bench when Brad Marchand scored the OT winner.
He's been lifting lately. That's why he could do it.
Yeah, he's lifting a lot lately, according to Taylor Hall. We're obviously not big hockey guys. Like, this isn't our forte. We have openly admitted this is the time of year where we get on board. We watch playoff hockey. We're jacked up for the Bruins, and I will fake it on Twitter till I make it about my knowledge of hockey and me yelling at refs for making calls. I know the hockey rules. I'm justifiably can do that. But like,
yep.
You got to do this. You got to change the lines. I'm all about that this time of year. I'll fake it till I make it.
We're on the same bandwagon. Let's just call it like it is. We're on the same exact bandwagon.
100%. If I look at the game during the game one, we go, yeah, you know what? That Brendan Carlo dude, yeah, he can't play. Get him off that. Like that's what I do. I'm still about benching Tuukka, by the way. Like, he's letting him some softies for the playoffs here. Even Kaylee Allard, who's big, we know this. She's been on the show. Big Tuukka Rask girl, even admitted on Twitter that he should have stopped a softie. So,
yeah,
Swayman's gonna get in. I'm telling you, it's happening. Sway dude's the future. I know. I even know this.
We'll put it this way. We'll see. But here's what I'm going to say real quick. From game 1 to game 2, nice to see the first line actually getting involved. Patrice Bergeron scoring an early goal in the first period. Obviously, Marchand with the game winner in overtime. And obviously getting that contribution from your second line. Taylor Hall was brought in here to help solidify that second line. And look what he does. He gets a garbage goal. Not that the goal was garbage, but it was a hard-fought goal that you needed to get late in the third period, because otherwise you're going back to Boston down 2-0 to the Capitals. And I don't think they're going to blow it 2-0 late. And plus, too, you got Craig Anderson in net. He's 38, 39 years old. Their starting goalie isn't even in. I don't even know if Evgeny Kuznetsov is even playing. I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, no, I don't think he is. Well, he's their starting goalie, right?
No, not Kuznetsov.
Who's their starting goalie? I forget his name.
It's like Vin. It's something. Let me look that up.
This is the nature of Bruins hockey you get from me and Al. If he's in, it's a whole different animal. I still think the Bruins are better on paper. And I still think the Bruins are the better team in the series. And it's just a matter of, do we have the ability to be tougher? Tom Wilson's on the other side, right? We know he's a douchebag. So, like, the Bruins have the ability. And Bruce Cassidy even said it between games 1 and game 2. Their top performers weren't performing.
Right.
Like the Stars did not perform. They performed poorly. They expected more, and look what happened. Brad Marchand comes in. Taylor Hall scores their goal. Like these guys started to step up, and look what happens. You win in overtime. So
you do. And by the way, that goalie, Vitek Vanacek, I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but that's a very weird name. Yeah, that's true. How about Hendrik Lundqvist? I forgot that they had him. The Ranger goalie that was in the Rangers on the Rangers for years. I forgot that they had him. Where's he? Is he injured?
Yeah, he had a heart thing. I know that.
Oh, right. Yep. Okay.
But he was Braxton. Like I think their plan is to I think he might come back next year. Like I think he wants to play again.
I don't blame him. But honestly, you know what?
Hockey players, man, they're bred differently.
They really are. Patrice Bergeron punctured lung playing in Stanley Cup Finals. But Jake DeBrusk, man, 2 goals in 2 games. Like he's Jake DeBrusk is a guy that is sneakily becoming like a good playoff contributor. Like he's a guy that in playoffs he just makes plays. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Literally like the Pablo Sandoval of hockey. Like you can suck all regular season and have like mediocre numbers, and then you're a hero because you perform in the playoffs. Like this is what it's turning into. Jake DeBrusk has been solid, and like I think this is why a lot of Bruins fans have been so like what the F when it comes to him during the regular season, because you see what he can do now and what he's doing. 2 goals, 2 games, like guys flying around making plays, and it's like, dude, where was this a week ago in the regular season? Like why all of a sudden now? Like if this dude could flip the switch for the whole year, or like the majority of the year, and be like this for all year consistently, like this guy's a top 6 player on any team, and this guy is a top 15 player in the NHL if he can figure it out all the time. But he's not, and he's not doing that. But if you can get this kind of contribution from him during the playoffs, fine. Like I still think this Bruins team is a legit cup contender. Like
I think so too.
I think they made the changes at the deadline to make themselves a cup contender. Shout out to that Boston team for making the right changes at the trade deadline and making themselves a contender. We'll talk about that. Look, the Bruins are a good hockey team. I know I'm a bandwagon fan, but I know that they're good. Curtis Lazar has been a huge ad, right? Mike Riley been a great ad for them. And you're watching Charlie McAvoy be the top defenseman on the team consistently. And I think the big thing for this team now is just not to let the foot on the gas. You're coming home to Boston. You're going to have fans in the stands. They did announce, by the way, this should be motivation for the team, that Boston, all of Massachusetts is opening on May 29th, which is this Friday Memorial Day weekend, Saturday Memorial Day weekend.
It's the
Saturday.
It's a Saturday because Monday's Memorial Day. That's the 31st.
So Saturday Memorial Day weekend is their full capacity. Everything's open, no more restrictions. I think outside of like hospitals and like healthcare areas, but that means full capacity Red Sox games. Fenway Park will be full on Memorial Day weekend. They're home, and that means the Garden can be full. Now we know the Celtics aren't going to get there. No. Actually, if they do win their play-in game, they will have some home games.
I have a theory about that. I got a theory about the Celtics and the play-in games, but
we'll talk about that in a second.
We will.
But you would think the Bruins have some motivation. If they get past the Capitals, they're going to have a full house Garden playoff hockey game for the first time since they lost the Stanley Cup in Game 7. Like this is the home game. Game 3 is going to be the first home playoff game for the Bruins since they lost that Game 7 at home.
Yeah, because last year they were in the bubble. That makes sense. And the thing is, too, if the Islanders can upset the Penguins, 4 seed upsets a 1 seed, now you have home ice in the second round. Not that home ice really means anything in the NHL playoffs, but like you said, playing in front of a packed TD Garden, playing 4 out of 7 games there against an Islanders team that you struggled with this year might help. Just might help.
Yeah. No, the Garden is definitely a big hockey playoff atmosphere. Like I think people don't really understand what Boston hockey is until you go to a playoff game. A Boston playoff game is just nuts for hockey. And this is why everyone loves the NHL playoffs. And this is why it's so easy to be a bandwagon fan like us, right? We don't watch the hockey during the regular season, but especially because the Bruins have been in the playoffs so consistently. I know I'm going to watch the best hockey come this time of year, and I'm more focused on the Celtics anyway, me specifically. So I'm going to watch the Celtics, and then I'm going to watch other NBA games. I'm more of a basketball guy than I am a hockey guy.
Same here.
This time of year, I'm going to sit down, watch a Bruins hockey game, make the effort, and going to be locked in from puck drop because the atmosphere is insane and this team is legit. And let's be fair, we're Boston honks at heart, and I just want a championship. I'm just sick of losing. I want another championship, and that's what it comes down to. Patriots aren't doing it anytime soon. They're not there anymore. They're not our consistent go-to AFC title game or bust. The Red Sox, they might actually be contenders. The Red Sox could get us a World Series this year. Chris Sale coming back middle of the year. Celtics, no. Bruins, yes, you are cup contenders. Let's get a title. Let's do it.
Let's get a title. And not only that, let's get some Manscaped.
Al, I got breaking news. It's an important PSA.
Okay, I'm listening. Got my attention.
It's brought to you by manscaped.com.
Okay.
This is your pubic service announcement and the news you've all been waiting for.
Oh,
Guys,
boy.
the Manscaped engineering team has confirmed that they have successfully created the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, which is now available for purchase in the US and Canada. The new trimmer was just released moments ago, and we are one of the first to get our hands on it. And guys, it's amazing. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code CouchGuy20, it's 20, at manscaped.com. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0, and Al and I are blown away by the performance. The craftsmanship and the details are the 4.0 are the next level. Their advanced ceramic blade and skin-safe technology is so good that it almost seems as if Manscaped worked with Elon Musk's engineers to ensure your testes are as safe as possible. Guys, if Nick had this when he was 12, 13, 14, whatever he hit puberty, learning how to snip downstairs, my goodness, with the light, the skin-safe technology, there wouldn't have been blood snipping everywhere in the shower for him. It would have been easily transformative and ready to go. What makes this trimmer different from all other trimmers, you ask? Well, it's a new multi-function on-off switch can engage travel lock, created for people who like to travel. All you businessmen, I'm listening to you, talking to you. The world's opening up, guys. The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for more precise shave. The new trimmer even allows you to customize your trim for all over thorough additional guard lengths with 1 to 4 sizes. So if you want to give yourself a fade downstairs, you can do that now, which is kind of cool. And looks-wise, it's sleek with a two-tone matte and gloss finish. Even features a hot foil-stamped black chrome Manscaped logo. Show the mower off loud and proud. Optimized Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer is waterproof, of course, so you can groom in the shower and not have to worry about making a mess on the bathroom floor. For those of you that are married, you know what I'm talking about. Did I mention wireless charging? The Lawnmower 4.0 new wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last stronger. Guys, it works with like any wireless charger. Like one for your cell phone. Same technology. It's pretty cool. If you're still trimming your face with your ball trimmer, it's time to make some changes. Quags, I'm talking to you. Get 20% off free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. No person wants to end up with pubes in their mouth, and your balls will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code CouchGuy20, manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code CouchGuy20. Unlock your confidence. You always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Guys, the breaking news, exciting stuff. Lawnmower 4.0. It's here. We're going for it. It's an amazing product. It feels better in the hand too. I like the new design's nice.
Agreed.
It's sturdy, and don't forget the boxer briefs, guy. They're nice.
Listen, Manscaped has all great products, so shout out to Manscaped all the way around.
You know who I don't shout out?
The Boston Celtics.
Danny Ainge. Danny, I'm supported. I've been wearing this most of the day. I love this thing, by the way. Side note, shout out Fanatics, not a sponsor, just a friend. This long sleeve Boston Celtics like lightweight hoodie, it's amazing.
Looks comfy.
It's super comfy, super soft. I'd let you feel it for the screen, but that's not possible. It's super soft. It's super soft. It's like a soft teddy bear. It was like 90 degrees today, so I couldn't keep it on that long. But it was a hot day. But look, it's almost okay that I had to take it off because the Celtics don't deserve me to wear it.
Yes.
This team is the 7th seed, have to play in. The Lakers are in the play-in game too, by the way, guys, for those of you who haven't paid attention. Lakers, mind you, they're in the play-in game because Anthony Davis and LeBron James played like 50% of the season.
Right.
They're going to coast through the play-in game. And if you're the quick side note on the NBA, if you're the 2 seed in the West, mind you, the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
You have to play LeBron James in the first round. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You probably, I shouldn't say probably, but you might lose.
They might be the first 7th seed to ever win an NBA championship. Just saying.
No, I think the Rockets did it back in the mid-'90s, didn't they? Or were they a 6 seed?
Were they a 6 seed?
They were either a 6 or a 7. They were a low seed in that second half.
You know what LeBron should do? Lose the first game, win the second one. It'll be the first ever 8 seed to do it, just for the fun of it.
This is true. I do have a hot take about the Celtics, though, considering the seeds, but continue.
So the play-in game, I'm a fan of it. And look, the Celtics deserve to be in the play-in game. They suck this year. If they get now, to be fair, Al, I'll give them this credit. They shouldn't lose 2 games. So the way the play-in game works for you non-hardcore basketball people, the 7 seed plays the 8 seed, so the Celtics are playing the Wizards. The 9 seed plays the 10 seed. It's Hornets and Pacers.
Yes.
The winner of the 7-8 game, so the Celtics Wizards game, they are the 7 seed. They only have to win 1 game. The loser of that game plays the winner of the 9-10 game, Hornets Pacers. The winner of that game is the 8 seed. So if you're the 9-10, you have to win twice to get in the playoffs. If you're the 7-8 seed already in, technically, you only have to win 1. So it's an advantage to be the 7-8 seed. And if you're the Celtics, you're the 7 seed, you're hosting this game. There's no reason for you not to be the 7 seed. You're better than the Wizards. You have all your players playing tonight, I think, outside of Rob Williams, but you should beat the Wizards without Robert Williams. I'm sorry, but you should. And if you do that, Al, you have a wonderful first-round matchup with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Blake Griffin. I can keep going. Guys, the list keeps going. You're going to play the Brooklyn Nets in round 1, and you're going to get your ass handed to you. If you lose tonight and play the Sixers in round 1, if you become the 8 seed, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, TBD, everybody else, Doc Rivers. You lose that matchup too. The Celtics will not make it out of the first round, even if they do get there. That being said, you want them to win this play-in game. You want them to win the game because you want the Celtics to go up against one of those top teams and get smacked. It's a wake-up call. It's a reality. They are not ready, and they don't have Jaylen Brown. We know that. This team needs an overhaul. Danny has much said it, by the way, on his interviews and the radio. He basically was asked, and he said, yeah, there's going to be changes. Like outside of our core, there will be roster overhauls. This is on Danny Ainge. This is not a Brad Stevens needs to lose his job thing. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals 3 out of the last 4 years. They've been on the doorstep of the NBA Finals with a young Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown leading the way. They are not the problem. Kemba Walker's not going anywhere because he's not worth his contract right now, so no one's going to take him. Brad Stevens is not the problem. Look what Brad Stevens has to worry about. The last 4 years, how much talent have they lost? Kyrie Irving walked away. Gordon Hayward walked away. Al Horford walked away. You lost talent. And then you traded away one of your big men this year for cap relief, essentially, in Daniel Tice. Danny Ainge is to blame. Danny Ainge needs to be on the hot seat.
So I have a little bit of a hot take for you. And I just talked to one of our good Couch Guy Sports brethren, Mr. Matthew Burnett, and he seems to agree with me, and we're on the same page. I think you need to lose the play-in game tonight. I think you need to lose to Washington. And then I think you need to beat the winner of Indiana and Charlotte, which I think you can do. Get the 8 seed and give yourself a chance against Philly. Now, are they going to win the series? Probably not. But I would rather take a fighting chance against Philly and say, okay, Joel Embiid, you want to get your 30 to 40 a night? Have it. And shut down everybody else. Now, I think realistically, if you get Brooklyn in the first round, you get swept.
Dude, Brooklyn's the best team in the East. Like, yes. Brooklyn's better than Philly.
Well, I don't know about that. Because don't forget.
They all haven't played together like all year. They've all been hurt. Right, they've all sat games.
That's right. Exactly. And that's why I don't know. We don't know how well they're going to mix together. They haven't played that much together, Harden and Kyrie and Durant.
I mean, to be fair to that point, Harden and Durant have played together and it's worked in the past.
Yes, that's true. No, you're right.
And Kyrie and Durant are best friends, so.
But it's 3 guys and 1 basketball. Always remember, there's 1 basketball in the game of basketball. It's shocking, I know. But if you're the Celtics and you get the 8 seed, I'm not saying you win the series. I think you lose that series in 6, but I think you have more of a fighting chance than Brooklyn. The Brooklyn matchup is not a good matchup because Brooklyn loves to run the floor. They love to run on fast breaks, and the Celtics can't keep up with that. Philly, they have Joel, but the Celtics just have a better matchup against Philly. And if Robert Williams is 75 to 80% healthy, he's a guy that can at least give Joel Embiid a tough matchup.
If you, by some miracle, win the first round, you're going back to the Eastern Conference Final. Like, you took one of the big Goliaths out, and you won't play the other one until you get there, right?
But wouldn't the seeds realign, or am I crazy?
They do reseeding. I mean, never mind.
Then they would play Brooklyn in the second round.
So you're getting screwed either way. Look, the Celtics are not a championship contender. We know this. If you want to win a round or you want some competitive basketball games, you probably want to play Philly. Yes. I want them to play Brooklyn because I want them to get spanked and run out of the gym.
Which they will do. I
want them to fail because I want them to see. I want Danny Ainge to see what he put on the court in action against 4 games against Kyrie Irving, who he had, and he thought he was going to stay here. I want his failures. His plan A, Danny Ainge's plan A is in Brooklyn right now. It's Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. That was his plan A, and it failed. You couldn't keep him here. You couldn't get Durant here. Now, Durant's free agency year was kind of off. Like, it sucked his timing, because I think if he had already won a championship, or him and Kyrie were a free agent at the same time, maybe they would have picked Boston, right? Because we do know that Boston was second on his list the year that Kelly Olynyk went for a trip to Nantucket. So, yes, Durant had some interest. But, like, your plan A, if you're Danny Ainge, is in Brooklyn right now. And, yes, I'm not freaking out about the future of this team. Like, long term, they're fine, but they've been a player away for like 6 years now. And they actually had a roster that was good enough to win. It was Hayward, it was Horford, it was Kyrie, it was Terry Rozier, it was you had the rookie Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's of the world off the bench, and you had like Marcus Morris. Like, you had the pieces to be gritty, to be talented, to be all-stars, to be studs off the bench. You had a championship team and a window to do it. When that team was put together, Al, we said, once Golden State is done, this team should be the team to rack up a couple titles. And they never did it.
Nope.
And now I'm watching this, and I'm less and less blaming Kyrie Irving for what happened on those teams. Because clearly it was not Kyrie Irving.
One of the biggest what ifs in Boston sports history. What if Gordon Hayward didn't get hurt in year one? Would things have been different?
Well, yeah, think about that, right? And that's a big what if, right? That team was stacked that day, right? That was game one. If he doesn't get hurt, Gordon Hayward's still all-star Gordon Hayward. Kyrie Irving's here playing with his man G, and Al Horford's there. That team's legit that year one. Kyrie Irving doesn't take all that time off. The kids don't get – what really hurt the Celtics, not even joking about this, is that year, Tatum and Brown had to be good because Kyrie Irving barely played, and their egos got kind of big. Yeah, they went, oh, we don't need you, Kyrie Irving. We don't need you, Gordon Hayward. And they said, oh, our time is now. Which, like, I get it. But if Gordon Hayward doesn't get hurt, they don't get those opportunities. And maybe those guys are staying in line a little bit more. They're still developing. Now, I don't want to, like, put a cap on Jason Tatum, because I think he is, like, the legit top 10 player in the NBA future-wise. Like, I think he's that talented. But for that team specifically, he needed to take a back seat, and he didn't want to. Neither did Jaylen Brown. That big what if Gordon Hayward doesn't get hurt, I'm fully confident in saying that team stays together.
And they might have won a title.
That first year, they might have won a title, because that was the year, like, those first 2 years that team, if they didn't get hurt, was one of the years that Golden State sucked. Like,
and they would have been better than Cleveland. They would have been better than LeBron James and what he had in Cleveland.
They were built to win, and this is why I put, when you blame Danny Ainge, you have to add the caveat of, like, he tried, right? He put a team together that should have won, and it didn't work. But it's partially on him for knowing that knowing that it wasn't going to work. Now, the bad luck of Gordon Hayward kind of sucks. But now what? You put this team in crap situation. This team does not have the talent to win.
Add contracts.
The fact that they got to the Eastern Conference Final last year was pure luck. It was the 4 and 5 seed in the Eastern Conference Final in the bubble. And he took that and went, okay, we're Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague away from winning a title. Like, no. You saw what Kemba Walker did. Your plan A, I'm telling you, your plan A has to be Bradley Beal to the Celtics this offseason. Do not wait till he's a free agent. You make a trade. You have the assets to do it. You have great young players. Your starting lineup should consist Kemba Walker, Bradley Beal, Tatum and Brown, Robert Williams. That should be your starting line. Figure out the rest. You figure out the rest. That's what the NBA is now. You figure out the rest. Like, you can add depth pieces through minimum free agencies for veterans. Those guys are more willing to show up and play for the minimum when they see a team that actually is a contender in the starting five. The NBA is a starting five league, and your benches should only be 7 or 8 deep. And you can do that with rookies. Nesmith and Pritchard, one of those guys should be traded. Like, I don't care how good they are. You trade Nesmith, you trade Pritchard away to bring Bradley Beal here in a package with Marcus Smart, and whatever else they want. You give them whatever you want, name Brown, Tatum, or Kemba Walker.
What about a guy like Romeo Langford, and you keep both Naismith and Pritchard?
Trade them. Fine. If they see value, I don't think they'll see value. If they see value in Romeo Langford and they're okay with taking Marcus Smart, Romeo Langford, some picks, and probably one more piece like Grant Williams for Bradley Beal, fine. Take them. Take them. Sure. Bradley Beal today, they did an interview today because they're playing the Wizards. Bradley Beal said, when all said and done, Jason Tatum will be 1,000 times better than I am. I believe him.
I do too.
But put him on the same team. Bradley Beal's only, 26, 27?
Something like that. And
Like, come on, what are we doing?
And they're best friends.
And they're best friends. And Jaylen Brown with the two of them? Are you kidding me?
Oh, forget it.
That's plan A. It has to be. Has to be plan A.
All right, let's just get this play-in tournament over with. Let's get to the offseason. NBA offseason's so fun. I love it.
I love NBA free agency.
Me too.
So much fun. All right, we're done. Go Bruins. CouchGuySports.com. Go all the written content. This was episode 208, Couch Guy Sports Podcast. iTunes, Spotify, our personal channels. You know the drill. Just keep doing it. All the good stuff. Twitch, YouTube, definitely go subscribe. Throw a follow on the Twitch channel. We're growing that. You might see Al and I in a couple weeks doing something there, which is going to be fun. So we'll do that as well. So just keep an eye on everything. And again, your sponsorships to announce soon. So look, if you're not on board already, CouchGuySports.com. Get yourself involved. It's good stuff. Al?
Jared?
It was fun.
Always.
Cam Newton to the New Orleans Saints this fall. It's coming. It's not going to be a Patriot. All right, we'll talk to you next week, Al. Bye.